Pray. They're asking you to pray. Fulani bandits in broad daylight, killing, shooting, maiming, and destroying a community in Niger State. I want this very video clip published on my page immediately to let the whole world understand what is going on. Because the world is pretending. The US ambassador is in Abuja. She is pretending she doesn't know what's going on. The UK ambassador, the UK High Commissioner is in Abuja. These are all women. They are pretending. I would have thought that women will have some kind of, that very maternal, caring instinct. They have proven to be worse than the worst of the men they have been sending to the zoo. The UK High Commissioner is a woman. The US ambassador is a woman. Are they telling us they are not witnessing what the Fulani brigade of terrorists are doing all over the place? And as the man said, there is no army, there is no police. Where there are bandits killing people, there is no army, no police, no air force. They are in Enugu killing unarmed people. And when I look at the rationale, the understanding, the reasoning of black people, I am beside myself with rage. With rage, I'm telling you the truth. I have never seen a collection of more hopeless, idiotic animals on the face of the earth. There are bandits in the middle belt killing and pillaging in broad daylight. They have taken over a community. The same army and police that should be there fighting bandits and terrorists. They are in Enugu killing unarmed people and seeking to justify it. I thank Elohim that they are now feeling the heat and they understand it's never ever going to stop. This is the level of hypocrisy that makes me, when somebody says I am a Nigerian, God in heaven knows I want to dismember the idiot. The fool doesn't have any brain. No brain whatsoever. Only an idiot, only a compound fool can ever rise up and say, and the idiots are talking nonsense about presidency, one Nigeria, who is prophesying. All these idiots, can't you see what is happening in Niger State? Are you all fools? You can't reason, you cannot think very well. Are all of you that idiotic that you are actually the children of darkness, as they have said you are, and will remain forever and ever? You people are evil. A black person is the embodiment of evil. This is confirmation of it. But terrorists from Fulani land are busy killing and maiming people, killing and slaughtering innocent people. And all of you are there in your foolishness, in your hopelessness, in your black nigger idiocy. You are there, and bandits are ravaging and ravaging and ravaging, and you want to justify the killing of unarmed people in Enugu. Do you see how God is punishing all of you? Let me tell you something I said very many years ago. Every evil that the Janjaweed, with the help of Britain, visited upon Biafrans, all of you will witness it. All of you will. It's not happening in Niger State. Go there and tell them about one Nigeria. Go and preach your one Nigeria. They are now turning to God. God cannot answer your prayers. God should not have created some people in the zoo. I'm telling you the truth. Some people should not have been created. Heaven is my witness. Some of you are so foolish that I'm telling you, ordinary tortoise and ordinary dog is better than some. I'm telling you, all of you in the zoo calling yourself Nigerians. I mean, can you see what is going on in Niger State? Can't you see it? All of you are blind and foolish. Can't you see what the Fulanis are doing? You can see it. What did those villagers do to deserve being slaughtered and to be killed? What did they do? I'm asking all of you. What was their crime? When you're asking yourselves, what did IPOB do to deserve the bullets of DSS? Ask yourself this question also. Ask yourself this question also. Those villagers now in Niger State, what did they do wrong? What is their crime against Fulani bandits? If you can point out any crime they committed, then you can also find the fault with IPOB agitation as to warrant the senseless massacre we are being forced to endure by the zoo, police, and army. The idiot in Enugu, the police officer in Enugu, is a Fulani man. Look at what Fulani people are doing in Niger State in broad daylight. I want that video to be published that the world can see what they are doing in broad daylight. No police commissioner. If IPOB were to hold a meeting now in Niger State, you will see the police commissioner. You are outlawed. You are bad. Isn't it very ironic that the people committing all these killings, these atrocities, they have not even been labeled a terrorist group? That tells you the mind and the brain of a black man. That tells you how evil, how iniquitous the brain of a black man is. How black and devilish it is. A black man is evil. Evil to a black man weapons to evil to the core. Evil, they are evil. All that concerns them is presidency. How do I become a president? How do I become elected into office? How do I steal on behalf of my family? That is all that concerns them, not the welfare of the people. If you tell me what those people did in Niger State to deserve what is happening to them, then perhaps you can possibly rationalize the killing of unarmed people in Enugu by Fulani, Janjaweed, police and DSS. What did those villagers do? Nothing. The terrorists said they are coming, that they are planning an attack. Why were they, since you have the intel that they are about to attack, why did you not preempt them? When you see a young man traveling in Biafra land, you arrest him. You say, oh, he looks very young and very energetic. He could, perhaps in the future, look at those they are still holding in detention in Owerri. 67 people on their way, on their private business, they were arrested on suspicion that sometime in the future they may commit crime in the future. But Fulani is committing crime in present day in Niger State. Nobody is doing anything about it. Some of you are still clapping, wanting to be vice president to the next Fulani candidate. That is how foolish. Oh, see, God forbid. God forbid, Zoological Republic. These people are wild beasts, animals. And for people who don't understand how we risk our lives every blessed day, there is another clip I'm going to play for you, and I want you to pay very close attention. I want you to pay very, very close attention to what is happening in our land. They have taken over Niger State. They are coming. They are sending their troops. The advanced troops are now in our land. I want to play this very clip for you, that all of you may appreciate the sacrifice we are making, this IPOB family, that you may appreciate our volunteers on the ground and what they are doing. I want you to listen to this, because the Fulanis are determined. Ever since they realize, Fulani, the Britain said to them, you people are very foolish, but you are a mongrel race, you are a bit more reasonable than the rest of the idiots. There was not one single response from the police, but the same police went to hospital where a boy they shot was receiving treatment. He was arrested. Can you understand the level of wickedness of this people and how lowly they regard us? They know we will not do anything. They know the governors won't say anything. They know you have no political leaders. They know you have no socio-cultural leaders. They know you have nothing. They know that those you are calling your leaders, all they are interested in is, how do I line my pocket? How do I become a minister? How do I advance my children? them and those who are psychophantically promoting their, should I say, their relevance, so that they too may benefit. But some of you, you don't say these things because you're blind. You don't see it because you are niggers. You are black, you are blind, you are idiotic. You don't see anything. You know nothing. Niger State, meanwhile, people are looking for police in Niger State to stop the bandits. The police are in Enugu arresting somebody they shot. Oh my God. Somebody they inflicted grievous injury on. There were bullets in the boy's body. They went and they arrested him and the grandfather. Meanwhile, the same Fulani police commissioner asking for the arrest of an innocent boy that they shot, instead of them to be remorseful, instead of them to say, oh, we got it wrong, they gave an order to arrest the boy and his grandfather. Meanwhile, his fellow Fulani people are in Niger State killing people and there is no police, no army, no civil defense, no air force. Now, are you telling me that people cannot reason all these things through? Is that what you're saying? That people cannot think very clearly and reason things through? Fulani people are in Niger State killing. Fulani people are in Niger State destroying lives, homes, properties. Fulani police commissioners are in Biafra and arresting innocent people. And you're telling me that people are not foolish? Britain have just said anything. Or US, nothing, they won't say anything. Because the High Commissioner has been bribed. A woman, she has collected her own share, put in her pocket, and said, to hell with all of you. That is what is happening. And that is what will continue to happen to us until we learn, until we rise up, until we understand, until we learn to appreciate consistency, discipline, application, intellect, and the ability to reason. Very, very simple. It's happening now in Niger State. Now, let me tell you what's happening in our land. All the Fulefus from Anambra, this is for you. All the idiots, from the governor down to all the so-called Indians, to Akoyes, all you saboteurs, all you traitors, or even those who claim they are PG, those who claim that I want to play your idiocy for you, so you understand we are the ones guarding you. Please post that second clip, please. You must post it. You must post it. I want the world to understand how foolish, how useless and idiotic a Nigerian is. How they cannot reason. The problem they have is that they cannot reason. A baboon is better than them. Monkey in bush is better than them. This for Anambra, listen very carefully, and for the rest of Biafra. All of you, when Nigeria presidency, we want to contest, is our town. Give the southeast, give the southwest, give the north southwest. Rubbish. I want to, as you are clamoring foolishly for a non-existent presidency, I want to bring to your idiotic attention what the Fulanis are doing in Anambra. Listen very carefully, please. Listen. Yes. 4 September, 2 days ago. Agono. From Nice, he's speaking Igbo. From Nice, over 400 motorbikes, belonging to Fulani Janjaweed in our land, in Agono. Listen. They have gone past Agono Lake. They are following them in this very video that has gone viral. Go and what I want it posted on my page that the world may know. That the world may know what Fulani people are doing. Now they have come, 400 of them. The Enugu State, the Anambra State Police Commission did not see them. Where they are congregated. If it's IPOB, they'll go, they'll open fire. I want the world to understand why we are upset. They may pretend all they like, they have not heard us. They may pretend from now till the kingdom come that what we are saying, they don't know about it. But I want all of them to know, the diplomats in Abuja, all of them who are listening to me, I want you to understand this very clearly. For over 400 motorcycles, we are in Anambra to transport Fulani terrorists to everywhere in Agono. One day they will come out openly and brazenly to be firing on villagers in Biafra land as they are now doing in Niger State. If they had IPOB in Niger made up of indigenous people, do you think that nonsense will happen? Of course it won't happen. The reason why we have not witnessed what people in Niger State are going through now is because of IPOB Volunteer Command. No other idiot can claim credit for it. Because of us. I need people to listen. I need them to understand what is happening. In our own land, that is Anambra State of oh, we are bringing some 58 here. We are bringing some 90. All these idiots in Abuja scavenging their lives away, betraying their nation. This is a shame on all of you. Go to Akolo and see what is going on. Or should I say, go on my page and let your ignorance face you squarely in the eyes. Mad people everywhere. Do you understand how foolish they are now? You know, the thing about a Fulefu is that a Fulefu always thinks he or she is wise. Let's think about a Fulefu. They know nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is why we're in a mess today in our land. In total and absolute mess. And we are going to prevail. It doesn't matter what the enemy does, we are going to prevail. We are going to win them, we will defeat them. Watch and see what is happening. I don't know running in Enugu now. Mad people are idiots everywhere. They think, oh, stop what you're doing. Don't be violent. But Fulani has brought violence. Not just through the terrorists. Fulani brought violence through their police commissioner, through the director of DSS, through their army commandant at Division Enugu, through their army commandant at OOBs, Artillery Brigade, through the Yoruba idiot in Solomon, is Babatunde, half your barracks. Idiots everywhere. As if they will spare the fool when they go to his village. Do you see, before everybody's naked eyes, how foolish people are? Any impartial observer looking at life in the zoo will tell you that these people are animals. They have not got any common sense. Their brain cells are not working. They did not see 400 Fulani Janjaweed in able to kill. No, you cannot see police. But if it's IPOB now, they will start shooting and they start firing. One stupid idiot, I've forgotten the fool's name, he was writing for a newspaper column saying, IPOB has been prescribed. Even if it is not right, it has been prescribed. They shouldn't be meeting anymore. He's a so-called intellectual, a fool at that. Writing garbage, claiming he's learned. That is the limit of the understanding and brain of these idiots. I don't know black people. You go to school, you get a degree, and you manage to plagiarize English language, or you manage to plagiarize other people's works. Cut and paste. You come out, your weekly column in newspaper, and you're an intellectual. You are now an intellectual. As I've said before, if you want to know how empty they are, if you want to know how vacuous they are, try and place a microphone in front of them without the benefit of any script. You will see that they'll fall flat on their faces. They cannot articulate not one single sentence. These are the intellectuals writing rubbish. What did IPOB do to zoo police and army? What did those villagers do now in Niger State to deserve the killing they are receiving at the hands of Fulani Janjaweed terrorists? All of you are still in support of terrorists joining the army. That is how foolish this is. That is how foolish Nigeria. That the people are they are daft beyond recognition. You are still in support of terrorists joining the police, whereas terrorists are the ones doing the killing now in Niger State. I can't for the life of me. When you say, oh, one Nigeria, why can't you believe in one Nigeria? You can see how foolish they all are, all of them from top to bottom. I'm very, very upset tonight, honestly speaking. Very, very upset. In our color, they are there. Post it on my page, because that's what you will go and post it on my page. And those who can add subtitles, try and add subtitles so that the world may know what our brother is saying. That is how we do our job. That is how we do our job on the ground in Biafra land. We are the ones defending Biafra land. The Fulani and someone will be online writing rubbish, talking nonsense. Some idiots will be, all they care about is the little money that Loretta has given to them, they now want to come out and to be known, to become saboteurs. Will teach you a lesson in your life you will never forget. That is the sweet for you. Now, in the midst of what is happening, you can see the Janjaweed coming. In Biafra land, in Abia State, in Owaza, things are happening. Our land, honestly speaking, if not for IPOB. If not for IPOB. If not for IPOB, believe you me, by now we'll be gone. I'm telling you the truth. Do you know what is going on? For some of you who do not know, there are two traditional rulers, two of them. One is called His Royal Highness Eze Jonathan Ko Ezere of Igiriubu Autonomous Community in Owaza. We have his number. The other one is Chief Friday Walele Eliwe Atotuo 1 of Owaza from Ezobu Igiriubu Autonomous Community in Owaza. All of these are in West Local Government area of Abia State. Do you know what they have done? This foolish Eze. His name is Jonathan Ezere. All these 419ers and Eze from Owaza community. That is the community where before there was a Fulani settlement. Now there is none there anymore. Are you listening to me? There is no more Fulani settlement there. I gave the order that he was taken out immediately. Useless people. There will be no Fulani settlement in our forest. Never. I gave the order. They went to Owaza. They removed the Fulani settlement in Owaza. I have not told anybody this before. We removed them from that place. We have the videos and the pictures. We chased them away from there. Do you know what happened? These are Fulani planning, living in our forest, planning the same type of attack that is now going on in Niger State. We saw them. I gave the order. Go and remove them. And they were removed. Heavily armed Fulani settlement in Owaza. Do you know what happened? His Royal Highness Jonathan Ezere of Igiriubu and this Chief Friday, you know what they did? To tell you, I want people to understand how low we have sunk as a people. I want people to know. I don't know what is happening in our land. Sometimes I ask people, do you really want to destroy us? I ask people, do you want to, what is that thing that we did that you want to punish us for? Do you really want to destroy us as a race? Do you know what happened? These two idiots, one is a traditional ruler, elder, respect your elder. So, do you know what happened? After we removed Fulani settlements from Owaza, the man called a meeting and said, we have received reports. IPOB is disturbing Fulani settlements here. It is our job to protect the Fulanis in our forest. His Royal Highness, Holy Nibolan. Do you see the depth of betrayal? He called the youths together and he said to them, the youths of the village, we want you now to help go and protect anywhere you see Fulani in Owaza. Go and protect him. Have you heard of that such rubbish before? Go and protect terrorists. Only in Igbo land. He's a traditional ruler. His Royal Highness. And as I said to the idiot, if you don't take time, your head will go into it. Somebody should can tell this fool, Jonathan Ezere, idiot. He claims he's a traditional ruler. He's a fool. Tell him to join Fulani and go back to the north, where they belong. Or they should go to Aba Township, go and rent a house. The same way our people are renting properties in the north and paying rent and paying rate, building houses, not to live in our forest. Any Fulani settlement I get in anywhere I get information, I will give the order to be removed. Go to Owaza and ask them. The Fulanis that were there, you can no longer see them again. They won't see them. I'm saying it so the world can hear me. If the plan of the conspirators around the world is to destroy Biafra, is to give Biafra to Fulani, they are wasting their time. They are wasting their time. Wherever they are, we'll remove them. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, it's not everything that we publish. That's why I feel sorry for Sabo. But when the time comes, they will hear from us. The reason why I am talking about Owaza tonight is because their so-called traditional ruler came up and arranged the same village we are protecting. The same village we are protecting. that IPOB volunteers are protecting the same village was where this man gave order to say, go and protect Fulani in our land, so that Fulani we can become little Katsina Elu, because that's Katsina Allah in Benue State. Maybe Owaza will become Katsina Elu, and then we have an emir of Owaza, and the Owaza Emirate in Anobakoko. This is what I'm going to tell my children. They'll tell that in our time, and they will ask, what were your parents doing? So they will say, oh, in the time of our fathers, in the time of IPOB, Owaza became an emirate. God forbid, it cannot happen. Not under my watch. Not once in our life, it cannot happen. And Fulani knows this. It cannot happen. Not as long as Nnamdi Kanu is breathing. It can never happen. They can never be in any bush in our land. I'm telling you the truth. They can never be. And they know it now. They're getting the heat. All of them together, they're getting the heat. They can never be in a village. They know who. They know me. They know the way I talk is how I act. They know it very well. Fulani knows me very well. The way I speak is how I act. Ask them on the ground what is happening to them. They will tell you. Both those in uniform and those with your nama. Ask them, they will tell you. Is it because you don't want to come? Because if I tell you everything, it will be a useless, a Biafran, an Igbo idiot who write. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, look at what he's doing. He is clearing the Fulani from our forest. Oh, it's not good. Oh, they're an idiot because they want presidency. Ndara. They'll be consumed as well, oh, very, very soon. Our madness has now gotten into a very interesting phase. Our madness is now in the open. Anything you want, we give to you. You come for us, we go for you. Very neat and simple. Because as somebody wrote, in an African man doesn't understand, slap him on one side, you turn the other side. No. If you turn the other cheek, he'll cut off your head. If they slap you on one side of the cheek and you turn, as Jesus asked you to, they will cut off your head. Because an African man is primitive to the core. His senses are not highly developed. It's just a little notch above chimpanzee. I'm telling you, so the world can hear me. I am a black man, I'm African, I'm Nnamdi Kanu, and I'm telling you, the brain of a black African man is only 0.27% above that of chimpanzee in a forest. If you don't know, let me tell you. Those things you don't want to hear is what I tell you. It sounds very bitter, it's not very pleasant to the ear, but I will tell you all the same. But this is the truth. His Royal Highness, appointed by M.N.K.C.W.H, giving our land, our forest to Fulani. I gave the order. The Fulanis were driven away from there. He's now calling his local community, oh, come and help protect Fulani. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. We continue. This is the Fulefu Brigade, I call them. The outer says, you know, our people are very funny. Once you can go to the north and bring money and forget your boxer shot and come back and bring money, they forget that you are a very horrible human being. That is the reason why our people are suffering. That is the reason why other people see us as a joke. That is the reason why other people see us as a joke. This idiot is a Fulani Janjaweed lap dog. They don't regard him as a human being. They say he's a billionaire. Also this wretched idiot. So look at the idiot they are following. They have made him the life patron of monarchs. Who made him life patron of monarchs? These are people that the land is under siege. One sponsoring some of you fools, you're talking rubbish. And in fact not a prostitute. Is it idiot convincing all of you fools? You don't know who you are, you don't know your identity anymore, you are so hopeless. That a tramp that her job was to traffic women from a door to Italy to go and do prostitution. Loretta on a chair, the idiot in Asrock, convincing some of you fools. give you 500,000 naira, and you write it. Meanwhile, look at the video. They are in Anambra. They are in Owaza. If not that I gave the order, they will still be in Owaza and attacking them today. If not for IPOB, Ego, you would have been gone 2 years ago. Ego, you would have been gone 2 years ago. But we said no. Do you know how many men we have lost? Do you know how many? No, you don't know. You have no idea. Your job is to gossip, to write, to open fake accounts, to write. That's your job. And that's what you keep doing till the day you die. Fools everywhere. Fools everywhere. After I say, Igbo traditional rulers and diaspora can live with such rubbish. Is there any, one of the oldest monarchies in the world is the throne of B.M.W of Japan? Or should I even Thailand? I want people to put things in. I want the world to understand the foolishness of our Igbo man. A modern day Igbo man is a complete idiot, complete fool. And I want to prove it to you. We had a kingdom. Did that kingdom have any king? The answer is no. Because God was King Jibweze. Today, I want to ask anybody anywhere, is there all these useless so-called traditional rulers you have everywhere in the diaspora? Are you older than Britain, the throne of England? Are you older than B.M.W of Japan? Are you older than the monarchy of Thailand? I'm asking you. Does England have foreign traditional rulers? Is there any Englishman anywhere in Africa asking a duke and saying to British people, come to my house, I'm a duke. I am the Duke of Mozambique. Or I am the Duke of Maputo. I'm asking you. These are people with fine tradition of monarchy. These are people with the finest pedigree monarchy anywhere in the world. Have you seen or heard a Japanese man saying, I represent, I don't know the new Hito, who is now the king of Japan, to the emperor? Have you ever seen a Japanese before tell you, I am the Japanese traditional minister in Lagos? How about Thailand? Have you ever heard of a Thai person saying, oh, I am the traditional ruler of Thai people now in Paris? It's only Igbo people. This is how foolish, how useless we are. They can't talk in Lagos and said they want to give them ATSs now. Look at how foolish they are. No more honor. No more. We no longer have class. Nothing. We have been reduced to a bunch. That was why they sat them down. So-called elders. They sat them down somewhere in the north. So they are singing, I can't understand. These are the so-called elders that some idiots are saying they deserve respect. These are the fools that deserve respect. I want to ask you, this traditional title you're taking to Lagos and to everywhere, and appointing your fellow idiot as your chairman. Let me ask you, England, do you have any Englishmen? Don't you have Englishmen all over Africa? Do you see anybody saying, I am the English traditional ruler in Angola? Where did you get this nonsense from? This diaspora, Igwe and Desert, where did this rubbish come from? Because you are all diminished. You have nothing. That is why you have no brain. They say, one time insult you for a fool, of course I will insult you. They say in a statement by the national chairman of the group, what is the group? Traditional rulers in diaspora in the 19 northern states. I don't know. Bandits, go and look for them and kill them. These are the idiots that should be massacred in the north. I don't want to be a professor. He's now lamenting. Why are you complaining? If Oduduwa were to be on their own, will they have any issues with water resources bill? No. Were Biafra to be on their own, will there be any issues of water resources bill? The answer is no. Then I'm asking you a question. All of you know the solution. Everybody knows that the solution lies in separation. Everybody knows. Now ask yourself, Why don't they want to go for it? Because they are hoping. Since others have gone ahead of me and looted funds, it's my turn to steal as well. It cannot come to my turn now, and you're telling me you want to divide the country. No, that is why governors are always against every agitation. Once they go in, they say, oh, others have come here, they have eaten their own money. Now I'm here to eat my own money. You're telling me you're doing agitation? No. They will send the Fulani DSS to go and kill people. Do you understand it? That's black people for you. Wole Soyinka knows very well, and as well as most Oduduwa elders, they know this very, very well, as a matter of fact, that division is the best thing for this youth. But their mind is that oil and gas in Biafra. I want some more. Because they know that Alakeja became a billionaire from Biafra land, oil and gas. They know that Otedola became a billionaire from Biafra oil and gas. The one that Tinubu stole became Sagaban or whatever of which they called idiot. It came from Biafra land. Why would they let go? I want the world to understand the hypocrisy that drives the brain of a black man. Brain of a black man is propelled by evil. Evil thoughts, never good. They will never say, oh, Japan has no natural resource, but they're intelligent. Yoruba is a very intelligent race, but we can survive on our own. Never until Professor Akintoye came along to say we can be on our own and make something of our lives. When they tell you about one Nigeria, is because of the money they are stealing or about to steal. None of them believes in one Nigeria. Nobody in their right senses, not even Britain that created the zoo. United Kingdom doesn't even believe in the zoo. Nobody does. I can tell you that. Nobody does. That is why they don't like the truth that we preach. And this truth I'll continue to preach it until Biafra is restored and beyond. Because I am under oath to Almighty God in heaven to speak the truth always, even if my life depends on it. To speak the truth always, regardless. To be without fear before my enemies. Always. It doesn't matter how many they are. It doesn't matter how the multitude. Once I am armed with the truth, we are indestructible. All our volunteers, do you pay them? All of you Efulefus and Sabo writing rubbish. Volunteers are on the ground dying to save your life. Do you pay them? Did they ask you for anything in return? That is braveness of the highest order. Patriotism personified. But your job is to open fake accounts here and there, talking rubbish with some funny sounding names. That is your job. And any idiot on this earth, oh my goodness, you have not even managed to start your own group in your local street where you are. Talk less of IPOB that has a global presence. Will any governor say that they are helping IPOB? Will any politician come out and say, yes, I am helping IPOB to safeguard our land? The answer is no, there is none of them. Have you asked yourself how we are doing it? You don't know, and sometimes because you don't know, you get confused. You become very foolish, you become very antagonistic. You think you can do something, you can't do nothing. People that thought that IPOB were in their hands, I sacked them, I removed them from IPOB. You write your rubbish, after a while, you begin to mix up with riffraffs, and that's the end of you, you're gone. And we are still here, as formidable as ever. I am not saying that the devil will not go into some of you. When Yeshua was on earth, he only picked 12 people. The devil managed to get into Judas Iscariot. And talk less of a movement of millions of people all over the world. So there are bound to be a few Judases. But your story will even be more miserable than that of Judas. I'm telling you the truth. Because there will be no forgiveness. So you can be shooting your mouth, writing garbage now, one day we'll get hold of you. Just one day. And then you will know what it is. Loretta Onochie, that Loretta Onochie that is feeding you and giving you money, she won't be there to save you. I can assure you of that. Go and ask me Yeti Allah. If you doubt me, ask me Yeti Allah. Time now is precisely 8:15 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. Agitation for Biafra. If nothing happens now, nothing will happen again. Don't do this. When we said to them, you're going to lose, they said, no, support us. And I said to them, this is the last time I will lift this very ban. And I'm going to prove to you that I cannot give it to you. And they were defeated by somebody who is a skeleton in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. It's a challenge I have given to them. I have said to the British, if you don't know, I've written to them, I've said to them, any day you prove that Buhari is alive, I will come and submit myself to the British prison service. I will go to prison for life. Without parole. If you can prove to me that Buhari is alive, if you can bring out that boy to speak for food, if you can bring that boy to speak, I don't understand this. From 10.5K, we have now gone down to 6K in less than 2 seconds. Incredible. Facebook. Then we are on our app anyway. Radio, IPOB Community Radio and Radio Biafra apps. The whole world can listen to us via that very platform. Only Facebook. Facebook. Astonishing. Astonishing Facebook. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. But we must continue. Incredible. Just like that. It jumped down. So they can say everything that comes into the zoo gets corrupted. It becomes an edifice of corruption. And Facebook is no exception to the rule. When too many people want to listen to what we are preaching on this very platform, they do their best to shut down, they curtail, they remove people, they ban, they block. Thinking maybe they will get frustrated and they will stop. And I said to Facebook, as foolish as they are, if you like, reduce those listening to Nnamdi Kanu to only one person, I will broadcast. On that your platform. I will broadcast. Agitation for Biafra must stop if you want presidency. But the influx of Fulani will continue until they take over our land. They are dangling presidency in front of you like a bunch of idiots. And you're dancing the music they're playing. Meanwhile, go to Angola and see what is going on. They have come. Daniel Sishak is the governor of Taraba State. He said that he will support an Igbo man for the 2023 presidency. But the agitation for Biafra must stop. Ishaq said, Igbo people have a legitimate aspiration, having not produced the president. He explained that if the zoning of the presidency has been applied in the past, it will be disingenuous to stop it now. However, Ishaq maintained that zoning did not in any way mean that competence would be sacrificed. And I'm asking this baboon, are you competent? That Aisha's boyfriend you put there with his mask, are they competent? I don't know what is going on tonight. I don't know what is going on tonight. I have no idea what is going on. They have tried to stop us. But we are reconnected. That's Facebook for you. Once we are unstoppable, Facebook goes into a panic mode. They go into a panic mode and they shut everything down. Maybe the British High Commissioner have called to say, what are you doing? Do you want them to take back the money they gave to me? Make sure you shut the system down. And that is precisely what they have done. They have shut down Facebook. They have shut down Facebook. But we are continuing. We are continuing Live and direct. We are continuing. We are continuing. Unbelievable. The panic. Oh, Sophia, hardcore. Economic is truly the key. Hardcore. Oh, Sophia. Hardcore. I'm telling you the truth. We are live and we are direct. Facebook is frustrating themselves and us. The whole world is listening. Mankind is paying attention because they know if they listen to us, that they would hear the truth. And that very truth shall set everybody free. It shall set everybody free. That is one thing they need to understand. We are live and we are direct, and the whole of humanity is listening. The world is listening to us, and who wouldn't listen? Who in their right senses would not listen to us? Agitation for Biafra must stop, they said. President, they own everywhere. They have now got into the Atlantic. With the help of the saboteurs and the fulefus we have in Ijoland, they are now there in Izon. The idiots, they are there. They went to Ogoni, they convinced Ogoni people, they said, "Oh, Igbo man is your problem." Cancer, who were despite being an Igbo man, said he is no longer Igbo. Orchestrated abandoned properties in Igbo. Look at, after a while they killed him. Look at the situation of Ogoni today. Any cleanup happening there? But people will still not learn. People will not learn, will they? They will not learn because they are foolish. But we are here to get them. Before 1804, there was no Fulani. Yumfa, the same way this idiot in this traditional ruler is welcoming Fulani in his village, was exactly what Hausa people did, ignorantly and foolishly. They took Kobe from them and renamed it Sokoto. That is why we don't want to teach you history in your schools. They have said, "Oh, we are going to return history," but they know they cannot return it because they know what that project is for them. Do you know what happened? Do you know who killed Muhammad Yumfa? Fulani. The same thing they did to Afonja. Afonja welcomed them, and they killed Afonja in a lorry in Kwara State. Fulani took it over from Yoruba. The same thing they did to Hausa. The same thing they want to do to us, but unfortunately for them, or should I say, according to the dictates of heaven, Elohim said, there must be IPOB. And that's the end of the game for them. Now you understand it. A king welcomed them in Hausa land. They killed that king. His name is Yumfa in Kobe. Today is Sokoto State. Sokoto. Muhammad Yumfa. The man that came with the Quran to preach Quran to him, to tell him about Muhammad, how to be good like Muhammad, ended up killing him. They came to Yoruba land. They did something to Afonja. The same thing they would do to Atoism. Idiots bringing in Fulani Janjaweed into our land. Fulani killed Muhammad Yumfa, that took them in, and they took over his kingdom. Since then, Hausa people became obedient, idiotic slaves of the Fulani without knowing it. It's Hausa Fulani. There is nothing like Hausa Fulani. Hausa people are the servants. They are the bottom of the lowest of the low. They are nothing, and they know it. Hausa know they are nothing. Hausa, they understand they are nothing. They are the lowest of the low in the zoo. They know it very well. Is any Hausa man an MA? Is any Hausa man an MA, I ask? The answer is none whatsoever. Zero. Zilch. They are the lowest. Hausa is the lowest of the low. Fulani is messing up with them, messing with their brains. They cannot understand it. For many years, they opened the northern border to the influx of Fulanis into the Sioux area. But in the south, they locked the border at Sema, closed the border at Bakassi. And those of you enforcing the closure, and I'm asking, where are the so-called intellectuals? Where are the so-called learned people? In the south, but in the north, the borders are open. And they are bringing in arms, bringing in terrorism, bringing in everything to destroy you. But in your foolishness, in your stupidity, in your hopelessness, you cannot see. For many years, we opened the north for the influx of Fulani into Nigeria. Those that came some little years back are today's governors. They're in charge of Nigeria. We, the Fulanis, are in charge of Nigeria. We have ruled them more and more, and we will continue to rule them. We have opened our borders, and in a few years' time, millions of us will come in to possess your possession. They are telling you. They give out the says, oh, see, he's a billionaire. They give him all your wealth. Do you see how foolish you are? Keep on fixating yourself, or should I say, your attention on what doesn't matter. And they will take your life and they will take your land, as they did to Hausa, as they did to Yoruba in Kwara State. Some of you are dumb, as they did to Nupe, as they did to Igala. If you don't know, let me tell you. Look at TV, they are gone. All of you understand that the solution is division. The solution is division. You all know this. But the more you keep quiet, the more Fulanis will come from the Sahel. And they will possess your possession. Write it down on a piece of paper. By that time, all the English-speaking Fulefus would have been dead. Their children will be dead. Our generation will be gone. And then your land will belong to the Fulani. The decisions you're taking today, all of you fools campaigning or clamoring for Igbo presidency, for Southeast presidency, your foolishness will cost us our land. Yes. Because you want to be rich, you want to own private jet, you want your children to be rich. You'll be asking elite, people who are the elite, fools everywhere, idiots everywhere. Not under our watch. Not when I'm alive, not when IPOB is waxing strong. It can never happen. We Fulani, we are your lords. We can steal and still jail those from other tribes that stole. Look at Olisabetu. How many Fulanis are in jail? How many Fulanis are in jail? We campaigned for Joseph Kalu to come out. He came out and he became worse than before he went to prison. It's only now he's dawning on everybody that he is campaigning for Tinubu so that Tinubu can pick him as vice. These are your so-called leaders. That is why he is telling you that no, it is not the turn of the Igbos yet. That tells you all you need to know about these people. Fulani said they are your lords. They can kill you as they have done at Enugu. They can do anything. Whereas their own bandits are roaming in the north and nothing is happening to them. That tells you all you need to know. We go about with AK-47 without being molested. Yet we have arrested Igbo youth and imprisoned them for shouting Biafra. But the Fulani person can carry AK-47. Nothing happened to him. We are the Fulani. We do whatever we want. We snapped pictures with our killer brothers. We recruited them into the military and the police. But for gathering in Emene in Enugu State for a meeting, we gunned down 21 Igbo youths and made sure none of their leaders ever coughed. They said nothing. Your governor said nothing. These are the idiots you want us to go and vote for to become president so they can send us all together with our land. Is that that your own children are being killed? You couldn't bring yourself to utter a word, and you want us to vote for you to become a president. You are insane. You are deluded. You are demented, and it can never ever happen. We shall never allow them take control over their destiny. That is why they have the likes of Ato Hesse. They empower a few idiots, a few flavors, and others can emulate from them. We must keep making sure the rogues among them rule them, like Supreme Court Governor Hope Uzodinma, a criminal in Lagos, X419. Today he's the governor of Rivers Imo State, speaking in the same office as Mbakwe. What an insult! What an insult! We give them criminals who don't care about them or their people, or have any regard for them. People we control their leaders from Ohanese to governors to police. We control them. Those that rule, they are ruling for us. Who's on the mouths of this? They are ruling. They are to SS. Those everybody you have regard for, we control them. Ohanese, we control them. Hey. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is the type of leaders we, the Fulanis, give to you. Why do you think their governors rejected regional security and embraced our packaged community policing? They are our proud slaves, Umahi, all of them. Proud slaves of the caliphate. Slaves. When you get up and you call these people leaders, you are a slave to a slave. Oh, dear. Once they rejected the regional security, I knew there was a problem. Do you see how messed up we are? Do you see how messed up we are? With Kama, we are taking over the resources of your churches. They are coming to your churches, and Fulani, they understand. All of you now shouting and crying over Kama, all this rubbish. Had you risen up in 2017 and joined me and IPOB to demand for anybody they call Buhari to come and speak full-footed, you won't be in the mess you're in today. When you see what you're not supposed to see, and you keep quiet and don't say what you're supposed to say, you live with the consequences of what you don't want. Olusegun Obasanjo. And I'm asking all of you, crying now over Kama, over all this. If all you need to do, all of you animals in this zoological republic, all of you animals, black animals, monkeys in the zoo called Nigeria, you baboons, do you know, rather than having a debate, I hear something, we think that Buhari is not, Buhari is still alive. And I said to them, bring him out to speak full-footed foreign language. He went to Poland, he went to Warsaw, and he addressed the central plank of my allegation against him that he is not Buhari. He said, I am Buhari. I want him to go one step further. Of course, you know it's not him. And speak to us in Fulani language. You saw the hole in his neck. He still said he's Buhari. How stupid can all of you be? You animals in the zoo, Nigerians. Anybody with even minor fibroid operation, don't you go for checkup? I said ordinary fibroid. I want the world to understand that black African people are foolish. I want the world to know this, so that perhaps shame can befall black Africans and they will wake up from their slumber. That is why I preach this gospel uncompromisingly. Black people are foolish. Let me ask you a question. What was Buhari suffering from in 2016 before he died in 2017? Brain tumor. Dementia. By his own confession, he said, I have never been this sick in my life before. Every 3 weeks, medical checkup. And now you're telling me that for nearly 2 years, no more medical checkup. For somebody who had a major surgery, brain tumor removed. Do you see, when I speak and you say I insult you, do you see why I insult you? Do you see how foolish you are? Somebody with ordinary appendix operation will go for checkup from time to time. Major brain surgery. After the brain surgery, Lai Mohammed said to you that he can no longer speak full-footed because of brain surgery. Let us agree for 1 second that that is correct. But somebody with a major brain surgery no longer go for checkup? Do you see how foolish you are, black people? Especially Nigerians? Do you see how daft all of you are? Do you see why white people call you monkeys? Do you see why they kill blacks in America? Do you know that your foolishness in Africa and in the zoo in Nigeria radiates all the way to America? Do you see how wretched your lives are? Because you can no longer reason. And that is why the Fulanis are coming for you. They know you cannot reason. They know you cannot resist them. They know your foolishness and your greedy nature will always make it possible for them to buy your conscience over at any time and make life intolerable for you. Fulani, they own you. As stupid as they, of course, they are working for Britain. We know that they are working for the agents of Britain. We know that for sure. They are the house leaders. The Britain chose very wisely. You know, the Brits are very smart. They chose very wisely. They know that you people are dumb. And they gave you Fulani to bring out that stupidity. As somebody once said, that Abacha reminds everybody of how bad a Nigerian is. Look at Imo State. People of Biafra, Igbo people in Imo State, voted for M.N.K.C.W.H. Hope Uzodinma came forth in front of our eyes, before, as they say, before everybody's eyes, in broad daylight. They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court added up votes for Hope Uzodinma that is more than the ones accredited and recorded by INEC, the official electoral, or should I say, election umpire. Have you heard of such rubbish before? And that one just went away. Have you heard of such rubbish in your life before? They brought somebody from number 4 position. Number 4, the 4th position. They brought somebody from 4th position and made him number 1. Made him number 1. Have you heard of such rubbish before? Number 1 from number 4. And yes, election is about voting and counting of votes. Now, how many people voted in the Imo State elections? About 850,000 people. Supreme Court, before intellectuals, there were intellectuals, there were learned people, intellectuals everywhere. Intellectuals everywhere. Intellectuals everywhere. Yet, nothing happened. Hereha was removed. Oh, God. 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 In our own land. In our own land. Only in our land. The so-called intellectuals and leaders, everybody accepted it. But it was very blatant. They said to the Supreme Court, the number you have given is more than those that that was captured by INEC as having cast vote on that very election. They said, to hell with you. We are the apex court. Our decision is final. And that was the end of it. They said to Ihedioha, if you don't want us to probe you, don't mention that election again. If you mention it, we'll probe you. And that was the end of it. And that is the country you want me to live in? That is the country you want me to recite their pledge every morning? That is the country you want me to stand up and say that I'm very proud of? I think the person must be insane. The person is not... You see all these idiotical intellectuals, all these fools with their professorship, with their degrees, they are all useless. All useless. I remember once in London, somebody came, we're in a bar at, what's her name again? In Clapton, what's her name? What's her name? In Clapton, in London. We went to a restaurant to go and eat, me and my friends. Dr. Gamba was there. And Samume went to go and eat. Somebody, this man came, I think he's from either Sierra Leone. He was an ex-soldier from Sierra Leone. He came into the restaurant, we're having a debate. He said, is there any professor here? We said no. He said, okay, that is going. We asked him why. He said, wherever he goes, if any black man says he's a professor, he will hit him in the mouth. And the person will call the police. That the brain of a black man hasn't developed to the extent of being a professor, becoming a professor. But they're useless. How do you see Dios is a professor? This is rubbish. Where we are there, when Supreme Court said, we now have 100,000 more votes than those recorded by INEC. Those in electoral roll. And the idiot is there in nowhere as the governor. And you have intellectuals. The only time they come out to write, the only time they come out to comment, the only time they don't is when their interest is at stake. Once you say to them, don't vote, oh my God, you see them. Because that's how they make their money once every 4 years. Now you understand, don't you? The blind being led by the blind. They killed us and then nothing happened. They came for your churches. And they say, oh, the pastors, they have jets. Foolish people, you don't reason. They go after maybe winners or any of those redeem or whatever. You don't know it's you they're looking for. That was how they captured Hausa people. They said to Hausa, you see your king is captured. By the time they knew it, the whole of Hausa land had fallen. In 1967, they said, Igbo man is your problem. Oh, now what is happening all over this zoo? Look at an Igbo man is your problem. They have taken over the middle belt. Do you see how foolish you are? They are now telling you, oh, it's not about Roman Catholic or Methodist. It's about Pentecostal churches. It's about Oyedepo. They have private jets. After Oyedepo, they come for you. Mad people. Who never hear yourself. You people, you have Okukwisi brain, common brain you don't have. Fulani is using you and you don't know. That is how foolish you are. After the Pentecostal pastors, they come for you. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Karma is there. Imo State gone. A known criminal has been at EFCC. Magu, a thief, a rogue. Nothing. Absolutely nothing is happening to him. They release him. But Olusegun is in jail. People that call themselves leaders, Hannes and politics, you are quiet. Injustice is being done before your own very eyes. You are quiet because you are compromised. That is why you're quiet. Why else will you be quiet? Why? You claim you love your people. You claim you love your people. But your son is in jail for having not committed any crime at all. Your children are being shot dead. You can't say anything. But you want to come out to contest for presidency. We'll set an example. We are waiting now. Come out and campaign for 2023. All the flavors, sharpen your pen and your pencil, your biro. Write all the garbage in the wall. If you come outside to campaign with these flavors, we will shock you. Idiots, you will die there. Bastards. Come and campaign now for presidency. Mad people. We are now going to show you madness because you people are fools. Olusegun, your son is there in Kuje prison. Dasuki gave him 400 million. Where is Dasuki? In his house in Sokoto. You people are not ashamed of yourselves to come out and to say you're a leader. You don't know what leadership means. You don't know the meaning of it. It's compromise. You are in Fulani pocket. Fulani pocket. You idiots are in Fulani pocket, all of you. And they're using you. And you don't know they're using you against your own people. Can you use a Fulani man like that? Can you use a Fulani man like that as they're using you? All of you are blind and foolish. That is why I pray for Professor Kito all the time. Go and look for Duduwa. There is no hope in this presidency. Jonathan was the president for 6 years. Common Ogoni cleanup has not happened. Can't that teach you a lesson? Those that control the zoo will never allow you to shine. It is impossible because if you do, you will put them to shame. Common sense. That was why they dumbed down the entire education system. If you do not know, they are in control of our lives. Fulani is posted. They own the EFCC. Fulani owns the EFCC. Fulani owns the army. They own the police. They own the air force. They own civil defense. Customs, everything, Fulani. Everything belongs to them. That is why they all have Fulani as their heads on them. And now they have people they call intellectual slaves from the east and west that would defend Fulani. Can you imagine if it was Jonathan's time, appointing only Biafran people to key sensitive positions, they will go to Asorok and they will bomb it. I'm telling you. You will have it. You can't do this. It's federal crime. All those useless, idiotic intellectuals, where are they now that Fulani is everywhere? They can no longer talk. An intellectual slave working for Fulani. Intellectual slave. Fools. The worst black man in life is a black man who is foolish, but doesn't know that he's foolish. I'm telling you the truth. It's the worst kind of black moron. As I said, when I go to heaven, because I'll go to heaven, I'll make heaven, I'll ask God how did he create black people that predisposed them to such idiocy and foolishness. Black people are useless. I'm telling you the truth. Useless. He is an intellectual. Defending Mietiana, intellectual professor of intellectualism. Defending Fulani. Supreme Court with the learned silk with idiots, with us weak. Somebody went to court and got more votes than INEC had in their register of voters. And all of you kept quiet. And you're telling me you're human beings. Black people, black. Black. I wish white people can deport all of us, kill us off and deport those who are still breathing. We are useless. Black people are useless. I'm telling you the truth. You may not like it, but I'm telling you. Go check it now. In the quiet of your bedroom. You're not telling the truth. Mad people everywhere. You think individual brilliance is brilliance? You can have a doctor from a village, it doesn't make any sense. As long as the whole village cannot reason, the doctor himself or herself is useless. You don't know that? You have universities, yet you have nothing. You are not developed. You are not advanced. But every year you turn out graduates. Wouldn't that tell you something? That all of you are useless? Every year graduates will come out. All they know is to get a second-hand Chinese phone, open Facebook and talk rubbish. And watching Big Brother. Useless set of people. Useless set of people. The blacks will be a disgrace to humanity. Fulani have taken over everything. We have sacked your villages, we have killed Christians, occupied and renamed your villages, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. Rise up and we'll bring you down to your knees. They came to my house to kill me. My men defended me, and we lost 28 of them in the process. I went to Israel. From Israel, I went to the UK. Those who were at the forefront of asking me to come out and fight were mostly Biafran people who were born in the north. Not in New Borderhood. Not in Biafra land. They are the same people who are supporting Tinubu. But Tinubu went on exile. His house was not attacked by the army. He was somewhere and he heard that 4 Hilux vans drove in front of his house. From there he went on exile. I was in my home when my home was attacked by a full battalion of soldiers, Air Force and police. Those that were asking us before, show us what you're made up of. Now they are witnessing it. And yet Yala can testify. All the uniformed terrorists in Enugu and environs can now testify. And as I told you, we shall come and we will bring hell with us. I can assure you of that. You know, anything I tell you, I'm going to try. I get it. Fulani is messing up with your brains. Both your intellectual and non-intellectual. All of you are foolish in the zoo. The only solution is separation. The only solution is division. What I've been reading to you all this while was brilliantly written by Eluchukwu Ohabi. Brilliantly written. I'm an intellectual. The idiot will go on Channel TV and talking rubbish. This was what is a satire, of course. All hail the Fulani. They kill you. Fulani can walk about with AK-47. But if you gather to hold a meeting with catapult, you will shot dead by Fulani soldiers and police. And you have Igbo people in Lagos and in Abuja writing and saying it's a good thing. That IPOB should know better. That idiot doesn't know that the Fulani is carrying AK-47. Biafra land. Biafra land. Biafra land. Biafra land. Black people. Black. May the good Lord have mercy upon us. Our ignorance is really, really astonishing. And I thank Eluchubu Ohabi for this. It's a very brilliant piece. How about the killing of IPOB family members in Enugu? What did they do wrong? Nothing. The people castigating people for going and praying and doing exercise cannot go and see Fulani in Ozo 1 killing people. That is what drives me insane. But they will never know. Ugwani, what are you doing about the death of our people? It's joint security patrol. Can you believe such rubbish? Tomorrow somebody will say to me, they are contesting for presidency. They want to be president. They are killing the people. As a government, common inquiry cannot settle. And people want us to regard them as our leaders. It won't work. That brings us to the end of our program this very day. Hugely interrupted, of course. But I know in the next few minutes we will have it on MP3 and similar formats of that nature. Once again, I want to make it abundantly clear that we don't hate anybody nor despise anyone. But your foolishness is making it impossible for us to talk to you in a manner befitting of a human being. Our foolishness can no longer be condemned. And let me also remind those of them who are in IPOB, people who may have held positions in the past, people who may be in positions of authority right now. I want to warn you, and warn you very clearly. Any senior IPOB officer, again, that writes any rubbish, be it coded or otherwise, on Facebook, I'll remove you live on air. From tonight. Any senior, if you like, use a fake account. Once you come out again to write anything disparaging or concerning any other senior officer or the movement, you're off. If you don't believe in the ideology that I propagate, you leave IPOB. I lead IPOB. If you don't like the ideology, you get out. What we say is what goes. If you don't like it, you get out. When we get Biafra, you can do all the voting you like. I'm not going to contest. I won't be your head of state. I won't be your president. So you can do whatever you like. Right now, on our march towards freedom, this command and control. If you don't want it to piss off. Some of you have taken money from the other noche, thinking you can't do nothing. You make noise on 17 fake accounts, and after that, you fizzle out. Like the other idiots fizzled out. They thought they were something. They have now seen how powerful we are. If any idiot thinks he or she can rise up to be like the other idiots, you join them. As I said before, the devil will enter into some of you. Some of you will succumb to the cardinal sin of greed, envy, and jealousy. But you will fall by the wayside. You will fall so hard, nobody will know you ever existed. Look at the idiots now, co-hosting a program with a riffraff. If they tell that fool before that nobody will even mention your name again, will you believe it? Go where he is today. And before I came on air, I was speaking to the B.M.W in the US, and I said to him, Now, you know why in Africa you have many dictators. It's not the fault of the dictator. It's the fault of Africa. That's why they have dictators in Africa. Because anybody you give a little opportunity, they think they've arrived. Because I gave you a microphone or a platform to speak and the world will hear your voice, you think you've arrived. Can you imagine such idiocy? If you're tired of serving in IPOB, you simply get away. You get out. IPOB is for the chosen. It's not for everybody. And you can see what they're doing. Our men cannot be dying on the ground defending our land. And you are busy on social media writing rubbish. Any senior officer from today, right now, this moment, if you write one more rubbish, I will set an example with you that the world may learn. I thank you very much for listening, all of you, wherever you are, this very night, morning, afternoon, depending on where you are. As always, to most people, they don't understand who we are, but we know who we are. Biafra is everything to us. Biafra is our religion. Here on radio, Biafra is where we worship. Because Elohim is our Lord, our God, our Redeemer, and our hope. From me, from here.